US, where two teenage boys have been charged with murder after the shooting at a 16th birthday party in Alabama that killed 4 and injured 32 over the weekend. This formed the latest in a long list of gun violence that has wreaked havoc across different states in the US. While there has been various attempts from different quarters to reform gun laws, things have been slow going as the gun crimes seems to pile up. And joining us to discuss this is a Global Affairs Analyst, Kunle Falowo. He joins us via Skype from Indianapolis, US. Good to have you join us.
Thanks for having me.
So we see a devastating frequency in the gun violence in the US. Just on Saturday alone, there was a report of about 12 mass shootings in the US. And one wonders if, with the unpredictability of this, if perhaps there is a state of helplessness within the US government as to how to deal with this.
Well, the United States is a gun-loving country. It's a lot of people will argue that the country's constitution, particularly the Second Amendment, is enshrined and it kind of encourages everybody to bear arms, and that's a really deep, concerning issue in the 21st century, especially now that we have so many crises, especially mental health issues that a lot of people have attributed to some of the reasons why we've had the epidemic level of the way that the gun crisis has been going on in the United States. It is sad. It's a sorry state that we are in, and until and unless policymakers and a lot of people are coming out to come up with new laws and new regulations and stricter gun control measures, we'll continue to have this type of conversations, which is very, very unfortunate.
And there is a recent report that stated that the trauma from gun violence, it's taking a collective toll on the mental health of the people in the US. What's the implication of this?
Well, it has enormous implications across the board, because a lot of people are afraid, angry, devastated. When you look at the lives of those that have been affected by this gun violence, the families of those that are deceased, there's no amount of apologies and there's no amount of sympathy that will bring back the deaths of the loved ones. I would also say that the National Rifle Association, the NRA, just recently concluded their convention here in Indiana for like about 4 days, and the top guns, politicians in the Republican parties, all were present at the association's meeting, and that would tell you that there is a systemic way that this is going. The group is a very, very strong, formidable team that the Republican Party they hold them in very high esteem, and the politicians are saying that they're not going to change gun laws, and they don't have any problem with the current gun laws in the country, despite the fact that we've been having an increasing number of deaths that is that's been caused by gun and rifle in America. But this continues to remain a sore point in national policy across the United States.
And what is the possibility of any sense of stability and control anytime soon?
Well, it's left for individual states and policymakers in those state level, because at the federal level, there isn't enough people, especially policymakers, on board to come up with a solution or a practical one. Some people are advocating for more guns. Some people are advocating for stricter gun laws. So there is a pro and an anti-gun reforms across the U.S. We can seem to have a consensus about how to go about helping or salvaging or preferring a solution to the gun violence in the United States. So as it is, the state individually will have to come up with laws within their state. Some states are saying that they will increase the number, for every individual who wants a firearm should be up to 21 years old, because currently in most states you're able to acquire a rifle or a firearm at the age of 18, which is quite interesting because you can't get to the bar or you can't get to the club unless you're 21, but you can acquire a gun at 18. So it's really not really balanced. So individually, the states will have to come up with their own laws to guard against this epidemic gun violence in the United States.
And it is shocking for the rest of the world that despite the number of deaths, this is still a partisan issue. Thank you so much for talking to us, Global Affairs Analyst Kunle Falowo.
My pleasure.